Welcome back, guys. We have now the 1999 version of The Haunting. Now, I covered the original film from Robert Wise back a while, but we have the new 4K release of the film, courtesy of both DreamWorks, Paramount Pictures, and Scream Factory. The film has been restored with 4K. It's got all the original special features and a few other things. This is definitely worth every penny that I paid into it. Now, I know a lot of people hate this movie and consider it an inferior copy, but I actually did find this movie to be a lot of fun. If you just look at it at its own thing, it's pretty good, but I understand it's not the best film. So, yeah, go figure. What does happen here is actually pretty cool. The movie is set with a more modern time and more modern people. Instead of going in to investigate for ghosts, Dr. Merrill, played by, our favorite Jedi right there, Liam Neeson, is instead going in to test for fear. He's trying to help people, like sweaty palms, a heart rate, don't help you with your boss, or SST, the tests you take for school and shit. Can't even say it right now. And, he doesn't tell the rats they're in a maze. Well, he picks the wrong house because he picks a real haunted house in Hill House. But as it turns out, this film did a little difference here. First of all, it was one of the first films to really build a physical connection between the house and the Eleanor character right there, played by Lily Taylor, and which we would see later on with the Netflix series, by the way. So that was pretty cool. And by the way, I might cover that one next time, but right now I wanted to get to this film. As you can imagine, the film is based off the original Shirley Jackson novel, and I just recently got the novel back, which is cool, and I love the design. Plus, they built one hell of a set for this film. This film's primary sets were actually in what's known as the Spruce Goose Hangar. Today, it's completely different now. The Spruce Goose is long gone. Next to the Queen Mary, one of the most haunted ships around. And by the way, that dome has been used for several films, including Stargate, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. Hey, pretty cool. So there's a lot going on. What most people don't realize is that, you know, the sets for The Haunting were huge, but for the shooting for the exterior, they didn't go to America. They went to London and found Harlington Manor. So the outside of that house, that's a really insane freaking house that is just that cool. And apparently it's also haunted too. Now, some of the other cast members who did this movie actually said, yes, we've had some encounters, except Owen Wilson. I don't know if that's true anymore. But even Liam Neeson's like, yeah, I've seen some shit. So it's pretty cool. And that documentary is actually on here too, so you can watch that. And we, of course, know Lily Taylor would go on to be in the Conjuring films. So there's that. Um, it's pretty good. So basically, they're all sent to the house as part of a sleep deprivation study. But as always, haunted house, shit happens, and they just get haunted. The movie does actually play pretty good on both audio and physical things happening. But because this was 1999, right around the same time as The Phantom Menace, there's a lot of CG in this film. Now, believe it or not, a lot of it is actually really good looking. And that's because one of the companies that was responsible for the film was Phil Tippett, who, in case you're wondering, is literally like Mr. Star Wars for crying out loud. His team did a very good job. When they couldn't do something physically with the actors that would be, like so the actors could see or anything, it was a real wide shot, they would CG. But they actually did pretty good here. Again, I know people sometimes really hate this movie, but it's actually very good. Plus, this was one of Jerry Goldsmith's last scores. And in case you're forgetting, he's the guy who did Poltergeist, as well as the Star Trek films, and a couple of others. And it's funny because Jerry Goldsmith and Robert Wise worked together on Star Trek The Motion Picture. And Wise did the original Haunting film, and Goldsmith did the 1999 one. And his score on this film is fantastic. He was one of the legends in Hollywood for a reason, for crying out loud, before his death. And there's just these great scores. Again, I wish I could play some, but My sound system's not going to let it happen. This is probably going to be one of my shorter videos, but I don't want to spoil how the film ends. I don't want to spoil what happens. I should at least show some other scene than just the opening. And there are quite a few impressive actors. There's also different characters here too. The Dudleys, the characters who are the caretakers, I actually like them more in this film than I did in the original film. They feel like real people. They're not these uh, direct assholes, in my opinion. And there's this incredible door that's like, the gates of hell and stuff. Do not stand in front of these doors unless you intend to be judged. Yeah, that's a pretty good statement. But I like them. They're actually good characters. They do have their little issues, but we actually do see them being a little bit more understanding. You actually get to like them a little bit more. And it's pretty cool. And it's pretty awesome. And I like how they even play off of each other too, which is something the original group who did the original film and the original characters didn't really do. Hey, can't win every battle. And it just works so well. The sound design is also really good. And even though this is a DTS 5.1 master audio film, if you can find the original DTS DVDs, you'll be lucky. There's an actual 6.1 track film. I would still recommend getting this though because it's the film's in their best picture quality possible, definitely the best mixed sound quality, which the last time I played it, I was almost afraid I was going to blow a speaker. That's how good it is on this system. And I didn't even have it all the way up. Totally forgot about that. Okay. In conclusion, I do actually like this movie. It is actually good, and I haven't rated any of the other films, and I'm not going to go back to try. This is actually, I would say, a solid 4 out of 5. For some, 3.5, but definitely a 4 out of 5. Either way, it is a passable film. It is pretty decent. It is good. It does what it does well, and I would recommend it to anybody. Plus, in the 4K copy, it's really good. But if you can only find one of those DVD copies, doing bad. But this has been recently released about a couple of months ago, so it's well worth the price tag of admission. And yeah, man, you're gonna enjoy yourself. Have fun, enjoy Halloween, like and subscribe, hit the bell for notification, and remember, respect the traditions or Sam's coming for you.